Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 10 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Talladega Super Speedway for the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. We're finally going to get ourselves a pretty good race. The past few of them, maybe with the exception of Texas, have not been the greatest. Martinsville, Rockingham, and Richmond don't produce the greatest of races, but this place always does, and we're in for a huge treat here today. And you might be wondering, well, it's a Tuesday afternoon when this is going up. Why is it going up on a Tuesday afternoon? Well, you saw the update video on Sunday night. You know that we're going to try to get this series done by the end of May, and then Chick-fil-A is going to retire as the title sponsor of the series. We're going to get a new title sponsor in. We're going to start using the regular 2019 Monster Energy Cup cars, and we're going back to the old chase format, so it's going to be a lot like it was when the Chick-fil-A Cup Series originally started. We're going to retire the custom cars. I just simply don't have the time to keep it going anymore, and I just want to have fun doing this, as I explained in that video on Sunday night. A couple of other things, these are kind of important to take note. We are not going to be doing any more qualifying sessions in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, which means that we're going to rotate through all the uncharted drivers. I think we have 8 of them. So we're going to go ahead and start now with 2 guys who are lowest in the uncharted points. That's Christian Russell and Angel Oliveira. They're both in this race here today. Then we'll rotate to 2 other drivers, the other 2 drivers, and the other 2 drivers, and then go back to Angel Oliveira and Christian Russell, and they'll rotate until the end of the season. Also, there is no co-commentator. I'm going to probably not do any more co-commentators for the rest of the next couple of months, mainly because I just want to get it done on my own time, and I've had to wait hours on end for co-commentators. I don't want to do any more of that. I just want to crash course it and get it done. But beyond the fact, it's still going to be really fun to finish this season out. It still is a strict points championship. We still got the Owners' Championships. Still got all the championships going on. Nothing's going to change except for how frequent the races are going to go up. And it starts with this one, here from Talladega. So last time we raced, it was at Richmond. Justin Roberts got the race victory. He started on the pole for that race. Well, American Motorsports has another pole with Josh Marzak in the number 34, who won this race in season number 5, by the way. So if he were to win this thing, he would have swept Daytona and Talladega, the first Daytona and Talladega races in both of the seasons he's been in. So far, he swept the Daytona 500 both of the seasons he's been in. He's got a chance of doing the first Talladega race. Coming into today's race in the championship standings, it is Mark Davidson still holding on to that points lead. 276 points towards the championship for him. Emily Anderson is only 6 points behind in her rookie season, doing a fantastic job. And the last time we were here at Talladega, that number 5 won with Elijah Gordon. Diego Yepez is 30 points behind. Nathan Baird is 34 points behind. And John Andrews is 35 points behind coming into today's race from Talladega. Of course, we didn't broadcast qualifying, but like I mentioned, it is Christian Russell and Angel Oliveira, the 2 uncharted drivers, making it into today's race. We're going to start cycling through those, so from now on, all the uncharted drivers will make the same number of starts for the end of the season. Well, last week, or last time we raced, I should say, at Richmond, Justin Roberts got the race victory from the pole position. His teammate starts on the pole here today at Talladega. That's Josh Marzak in the number 34. Alongside him, it's Mitchell Henderson in the number 25, rookie driver. Trying to get his first career win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Row number 2 sees Diego Yepez and Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton comes into this race 41st in points, and mind to tell you, there are only 40 full-time drivers. That's how bad he's been doing as of late, but he's looking to change all that around with a possible victory here today at Talladega. Garrett Zenore's won here at Talladega before, but he hasn't won in over 3 years in this series. He's looking to change that here today alongside Daniel McMillan, Julius Anderson for Hamill Racing Enterprises alongside Carter Friesen, and Andrew Ross, the Texas winners, alongside Herja Larb and Alonso for row number 5. Make sure everybody's rolling off okay. It's the 10th race of the season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, the final Chick-fil-A Cup Series season. Of course, like I said, when we get to the next season of the Premier Series on Napa Fan, we're going to be going back to using the real-life Cup cars. And there'll be a new sponsor, and we will be independent as well. So no more NOFSRL, unfortunately. No more Chick-fil-A. I kind of just want the new series to kind of just be its own thing and have a new, fresh face. But it still will be canon with this series, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there in June, but most of these guys who have had reserves in the past will probably still have reserves for this new series as well. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Talladega and watch these guys go around this place for 38 laps. It's a restrictor plate race. Anything is possible. There's going to be a ton of passing, but there won't be any pit stops in this race, so that is one factor you got to watch out for. It's going to be interesting to see who gets it done. Josh Marzak and Mitchell Henderson on the front row. Let's get this party started from Talladega. The Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 is green. Let's get this one rolling. Lap 1 will be led by Garrett Senor. He edges out Yepez and Marzak at the line for a bonus point towards the championship, and he's got it on lap 1. Julius Anderson, Andrew Ross, Emily Anderson in the inside lane, and Marzak, you can tell that outside lane just simply does not work here at Talladega. And of all the racetracks we go to in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, this is probably the worst for the outside lane. You got to work that inside, and if you don't work the inside good enough, you're not going to get the race victory. It cycles through more here than it does any other place. Senor, however, is holding on to the race lead. Emily Anderson, though, is going to look to the inside. And then number 5, looking to get another race victory here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Emily Anderson will lead lap number 2. Angel Olvera, he's moving his way through the field. Only a second ever start this season. And he's got the inside lane. Brad Stover, winner from a couple of races ago at Rockingham, and John Arndt in the 05 on the inside lane. Phoenix winner Patrick Smith and Tristan Allen still going for his first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory on the inside lane as well. You can tell the way these guys cycle, they get that run on the inside and everyone gets shuffled out on the outside lane, and they just keep on passing the whole way through. But another thing you got to watch out for is the big one. And we got 4 wide. Marzak, Dalio, they're 4 wide back in there. Riley Spurley and Diego Yepez, and they can figure out 4 wide a little bit here, but if they don't get out of it quick enough, there's going to be a huge wreck. They're going to keep it together for now. Trey Barta's on the inside lane of those guys, but Marzak's the one in the pickle. Dalio is getting forced really low in that middle line, and sure, Dalio's not too happy with the 34 right now, but we got to watch for this. It could turn into a huge wreck down the backstretch or anywhere on this racetrack, and it could happen at any moment. Seth Cole on the inside of Dalio and Marzak. Dalio is doing a great job right now, holding on to the middle lane like that. Marzak's trying to get there, but there's just not enough room. And in the wall, Marzak and Dalio go around. Our points leader, Mark Davis, is around. Seth Cole's around, and the big one strikes off a turn 4. I see Lucas Jacobson around, and can hardly see anything for all the smoke. Nathan Baird, Marzak's around, Skivnicki, Herjo Larv, and Alonso involved in the accident. The race back to the line was won by Fisher G, and we got to watch out for these guys racing back. They could possibly get into it on the cooldown lap. Thankfully, they did not. Michael Canto all torn up in the 12. I saw Christian Master there in the 7, Skivnicki, Alonso, Marzak, Baird, Andrew Miller in the 47, Roger Ray in the 24. But surprisingly, it wasn't that bad of an accident for Talladega standards. You see Matt Dalio with damage in the 79. I don't know if he's going to get this victory here today. He was doing such a great job in the middle, but there's only so much you can do when you got a guy squeezing you to the inside like that. And I did mention there are no pit stops in this race. However, these guys might come down here to ensure they can make it on fuel, because the fuel window is pretty much the race length. And I think that's what we're going to see right here. So Tristan Allen's going to stay out. They're confident they can make it the whole way through, but everybody else is coming down just to top off on fuel. That's what usually happens with these 500-mile restrictor plate races. We don't get that in the second Daytona race because it's only a 400-mile race. We're shortened to 20% of that length, but these guys coming in for fuel. Doesn't really matter where they come out, though. As long as they're all still on the racetrack, they also have a shot at the race victory, as we had seen with all the passing we had. A lot of guys involved in this one, but it's the traditional Talladega big one here on lap 4 of the event in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the first caution of the day here at Talladega. Well, you see right here, Seth Cole there on the inside lane. Matt Dalio has nowhere to go, and Dalio gets into Seth Cole. Seth Cole ends up spinning the 95 of Mark Davidson around, and then you see Dalio get into Marzak, and Emily Anderson going to gain some damage from this one as well. Alonso going around, Julius Anderson in the Mitchell Henderson. And then we're going to change the angle right here and show you guys all that ensued, because the smoke is just so bad from that angle, we can't tell who got involved. Mark Davidson going around there, Seth Cole, Christian Master, Michael Canto around. Matt Dalio's around. The track is essentially blocked right there. Andrew Ross did a good job saving it right there. A little bit of damage on Mitchell Henderson, but main areas right here. Jesse Turner got spun around a little bit. John Anders and Nathan Stapleton, I think they avoided it. They were up right in the middle of all that, but they drove away on the outside. Marzak, Alonso, Jacobson, Skimnicki, and Baird, however, were not able to avoid it. I think Master might have run into Michael Canto. Christian Russell, his first race of the season for American Motorsports there on that inside lane. Sebastian Kukulon. Some of these guys getting a piece of it, but if you don't have too much damage, you're still good to go and might have a shot at the race victory. So we'll have to see who's still in contention when we get back to racing, but not a lot of hard hits in this one. Michael Canto's probably going to be out, and maybe Christian Master, but they might be the only two who get knocked out from this accident. We'll replay this in real time, following with Michael Canto. Right ahead of him, you're going to see Dalio get into Seth Cole and Josh Marzak, and then chaos ensues. And right there, Canto ran right into Matt Dalio. That's where he gained all his damage. Andrew Miller was in the air a little bit there. Justin Roberts was also in the middle of all this, but I think he avoided it for the most part. The number 38, he's going for 2 in a row here in the Chick-fil-A Cup. He's got the win in Richmond a couple days ago. But you see Skimnicki, Jacobson, all these guys, not the best of days for him. And Josh Marzak started on the pole for this race, didn't even get to lead a lap. And he might still be able to continue, but his chances of winning this race are gone in that number 34. Tough break for all those guys involved. Fisher G won the race back to the line. That's good for the bonus point situation, because he might get the most laps led for leading under this caution. We'll have to see how that all goes down later on. But I don't know if he's going to be the leader. I think it's going to be Tristan Allen, because Tristan Allen stayed out on the racetrack. He did not come down for fuel, so he thinks he can make it to the end. He, along with Alexander Rowe, stayed out. They're the top two. Let's get to the restart with those two guys leading the field here from Talladega. We're back here at the Talladega Super Speedway, and you know that name pretty well, and you can tell this is going to be a good race regardless. I don't know what we're going to see in real life with the new package and all that. I just don't know, and I really don't care anymore. But I do know that this race is going to be good, and we're going to be pack racing all the way to the end. We're maybe with a couple more wrecks here until the end of the finish. But either way, Tristan Allen leading the field in the number 3. And I mentioned that Fisher G might actually get the most point for leading the most laps. Well, he actually wasn't even out front a majority of that caution period. It was actually Tristan Allen. So Allen has actually led the most laps up to this point. Remember, we have 5 lap caution periods here at Talladega compared to 4 we get at most other racetracks. So cautions tend to actually take a lot out of the race here. But either way, it is Tristan Allen leading the field in the number 3, followed by Alexander Rowe, Fisher G, Cody Sill. Haven't mentioned him hardly at all this season. Golden Motorsports, Matthew Brown, the owner of this team. They've practically been invisible this season, but there they are in 4th, and Patrick Smith in the 66 running in the top 5. You got Sam Medeo up there, Wyatt Quayle, Riley Spurley, Ace Garcia, and Trey Bartow. The top 10 coming to 30 laps to go in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 from Talladega. Take a look and see who got knocked out after that accident. Quite a few guys a lap down, actually. Stablin acquired a bit of damage from that accident, along with the number 68 of Carter Friesen and Daniel McMillan as well, number 75. I remember he started up front for this race. Not going to end too well for him. Roger Ray, Andrew Miller, Herjo Love and Alonso, Michael Canto, and Christian Master. I believe they're all out of the race here. Only a couple of laps in. Tristan Allen holding on to the race lead. He's got the advantage on Alexander Rowe, but Fisher G and Nicholas Samadio are coming with a full head of steam. And it looks like some guys in the middle of that pack did not get the best of jumps on the start. Some of these guys might have some damage from that accident, and that is why we see the gaps that we're seeing right now. They should close all back in eventually. But I'm trying to think who it might have been. It might have been this guy, Lucas Jacobson. He seems pretty slow in the number 64. But they're majorly spread out right now here at Talladega. You see Carter Freeze and all these guys. These three guys a lap down right now. And then you got the lead pack here with Riley Spurley going to the inside of Fisher G. Trey Bartow's up here in the 4 for Titan Fury Motorsports. When we talk about Garrett Sonor, we're talking about Matt Daly having long losing streaks. Bartow is third in line. Only behind Tristan Allen and Garrett Sonor with the longest losing streak in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Last time he got a win was Season 5 at Boston. It was late Season 5. He went all of Season 6, all of Season 7 without a race victory. We got more at 4 wide. They should figure that one out, though, because they got a lot of room to back it down and head to the end of the pack, and that's what Tristan Allen will do right there in the number 3. Back to the race lead. It's Trey Bartow in the number 4. Here comes John Hart in the 05 with Patrick Smith and Alex in a row in the inside lane. I'm pretty sure that Alexander Rowe and Tristan Allen should be good to go on fuel. But I just don't know. Everyone else came down and topped off. They should all be good to go. But like I said, the fuel window here is about the race length. And this thing, if this thing actually were to go green the entire way through, these guys would actually have to stop for fuel, but normally we get enough cautions where that doesn't become an issue. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. Of course, they're good for now. They won't have to worry about that for at least another 20 laps, but keep that in mind if this thing stays green till the end. They might have to come down near the end of this race. Patrick Smith leads the field. Got a lap lead right there. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater. He's another guy. He's actually yet to get a top 10 this season. He, along with Riley Spurley and Nathan Stapleton, all have yet to get a top 10 this season after 9 races. By this time last year, Zachary Fitzwater had already won twice. Came to the Daytona 500 in Texas. He's back up front. He's got his teammate right behind him in Tristan Allen. And it's looking like this lead pack's going to stay at this size with John Anders all the way up to our race leader. These 5 guys are trying to close in. Nathan Baird, Garrett Sonor, Andrew Ross, Christian Russell. They might be getting Julius Anderson, Diego Yepez, and Justin Roberts to join in soon, and they might be able to catch up to this lead pack. Right now have about a 2.5 second difference between the leader and that second pack, so we'll have to see if they find a way to close in. More 4 wide. Wyatt Quayle pushing up on Fisher G, and he really pushed up on him through the corner. Sam Medeo has to back out in the 48. But the good thing for all these guys in this lead pack is, that it's a small pack, and if you have to fall back, you fall back. You can get back to the lead relatively quickly. More 4 wide, this time for the lead, and Tristan Allen's at the front of the pack here. Cody Sill, Ace Garcia in the middle there, as Riley Spurley goes to take the race lead in the number 39. And Allen's going to fall to the end of the pack right here. Hopefully they can figure it out. They should. They're running right into Matthew Phillips, and the lead pack has to scramble as they run into the 15. Oh boy, that's really going to hurt the chances of a lot of guys, especially if we don't get another caution. And Matthew Phillips is going majorly slow out there in the number 15. You see Garrettson and all these guys closing in fast, and they have to check up as they hit Matthew Phillips. Matthew Phillips is probably going to go a lap down right there. They're probably going to be closing in on Stapleton, Friesen, and McMillan here soon. Wyatt Quayle is not the leader because this is the lead pack right here. It's Angel Olvera leading the field in the 46 on lap 15 of 38. Remember last year in this race, Cookie Helms, another driver, got the race victory. How about Wade Enterprises right now? They got 3 of their guys inside the top 5. With Angel Olvera, John Andrews, and Alexander Rowe. Ace Garcia's in this lead pack, Cody Sill and John Hart. And Riley Spurley, along with the 46 of Angel Olvera, the only 2 rookies in this lead pack right now. The rookies have been doing a pretty good job this season. They've won a few races so far, with Wyatt Quayle and Andrew Ross being a couple of those guys. And right now, it doesn't look like the rookies are doing as good in this one. Tristan Allen, Brad Stover's up here now. Wyatt Quayle, Sebastian Cucalon, and Nicholas Samadillo. They're all in their own pack right there. Then you have Garrett Sonor. Then you have Nathan Baird, Christian Russell, Diego Yepez, Trey Bartow, Justin Roberts, and Julius Anderson in their pack. Patrick Smith, Fisher G, who actually led at the restart, has fallen off quite a bit in the number 6, and Andrew Ross back in there in the 35. And you got all these stragglers back in here. Got Silas Order, a points leader. Mark Davidson. The thing is, the guy who's right behind him, or should I say the gal who's right behind him in the point standings, Emily Anderson, is racing right with him. So Mark Davidson, the way things are currently running, he would still be the points leader heading into Dover a couple days from now. Mitchell Henderson's there in the 25. John Evans Skibnicki, Lucas Jacobson, Matt Dallio, Seth Cole, and then we saw Matthew Phillips get in the way there. And boy, he is really, really slow. There's Carter Friesen and Daniel McMillan at the end of the pack, and Nathan Stapleton, Josh Marzak as well was able to get back out there, but he is definitely slow, and he is going to come in the way of our race leaders here soon as Riley Spurley now has the race lead in the number 39. We're closing in on halfway, lap 19. Once we complete lap 19, so 2 laps from now, we will be halfway through the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 from Talladega. I don't think I've ever seen it spread out this much before in a Talladega race, this early on. We've seen it happen plenty of times before, but they seem to really be spread out on this one, and if it stays this way, we might not get another wreck, because the wrecks happen when we're all bunched up, and we're not really all bunched up right now. Marzak definitely slowing that pack down. That's allowing Allen, Fitzwater, Sam Medeo, Stover, or should I say Sam Medeo's got a problem. Either that or he was reacting to Daniel McMillan ahead of him. I think that's what he was doing. I don't think Sam Medeo has a problem, but there's a problem on Daniel McMillan. And Sam Medeo, the veteran he is, was reacting to that, making sure the 75 wasn't coming back on the racetrack there. It's been a tough day for Daniel McMillan, and it's just going to get worse for him than number 75 as he heads down the pit lane halfway through the race. Tough break for Daniel McMillan. He's probably going to get knocked out right there. Definitely some sort of issue on that number 75, and with that, Sam Medeo was not able to get around Josh Marzak. Neither was Stover or Kukulon in 13. You got Trey Bartow here and got a pretty big pack right here, and these guys might be able to close in on the lead draft before long. We'll just have to see. Fitzwater trying to close in on the lead pack. There's Tristan Allen and Nicholas Sam Medeo. They didn't have any drafting help. Tristan Allen and Fitzwater drove away without any drafting help, and they fell off the lead pack. And now you see Sam Medeo there running to the inside of Tristan Allen. And they are in the top 10 right now, but they're almost 3 seconds behind. And they're now even farther behind because this lead pack keeps on going faster, but they just ran into Matthew Phillips again. Alexander Rowe and John Arndt, they pull away. Actually, you know who pulled away was Angel Olvera in the 46. And he is miles ahead of the rest of the guys right now in this race. This is getting interesting. They are just getting spread out like crazy here at Talladega because of all these lap-down cars, and Matthew Phillips has definitely been the worst of them. You can see the speed difference there. Sam Medeo will get by, so will Patrick Smith, but Tristan Allen stuck behind the 15. And all those guys in the inside lane stuck behind the 15 and Matthew Phillips, who is definitely going much slower than the rest of the field. A lot of these guys have actually lost the lead pack because of Matthew Phillips. Or should I say, Trey Bartow is one of those guys who was in the lead pack earlier on in this green flag run. But I think he got caught behind Phillips and fell off, and he is now 5.5 seconds off the race lead. Race lead is still Angel Olvera in the 46, but these guys are going to be coming fast. They're closing in on Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton's about to go 2 laps down on the 28. Olvera going to try to pass him on the outside lane, but Stapleton's going to move up, and they're going to split him. John Arndt got held up just a little bit by Stapleton, but we still have the same 7 guys in this lead pack as we did earlier on. It's Spurley, John Andrews, Cody Sill, Ace Garcia, Angel Olvera, Alexander Rowe, and John Arndt. Fitzwater's been trying to catch up to these guys, and he hopes to hit these lap cars in the right times to be able to do so. Sam Medeo and Patrick Smith are all by themselves, and you got Tristan Allen, Nathan Baird, Kukulon, Bartow, and Diego Yepes with the race damage that he has on his race car from that accident earlier on. Then these guys, they've gotten caught behind lap traffic numerous times. Christian Russell, Wyatt Quayle, Garrett Senor, Justin Roberts, Julius Anderson, and Brad Stover. Hasn't been the best of days for those guys. Back to the race lead. They got around Angel Olvera pretty easily. Ace Garcia is going to take it away from John Andrews. It's surprising that of these 7 guys, 3 of them are teammates to each other. It's the Wade Enterprises guys of Alexander Rowe, John Andrews, and Angel Olvera. All teammates, all looking to get their first win of the season for their team, and Nicholas Wade. And there is a very good chance that this thing is going to go caution-free into the end, considering all the split packs we have. The odds of going 4 wide are a lot slimmer with the way they're running right now. And you see how spread out everybody is. I mean, everybody keeps on getting stuck behind Matthew Phillips. He is really, really a pain for these guys. I'm sure a lot of guys aren't too happy on the radio with that number 15 right now. But either way, they're still racing out there. And it's looking like this is going to go green the whole way through. So it's going to get interesting to see who gets it done. Will Fitzwater be able to close in on these guys and have a shot? Will these guys close in? How about Trey Bartho? He's moved his way through the field fairly well here. You know, if these 5 guys can group back up, they might have a shot in this 7-car pack, especially if they get held up by Matthew Phillips again. Angel Oliveira looks pretty strong here today, guys. Looking to become the first uncharted driver to win a race this season. Oliveira looking for his first ever Cup Series win, and maybe his first ever Napa fan win as well. I don't think he's ever won before on this channel. But he's got the lead, single file on Cody Sill and John Andrews right now. All these guys going for their first wins of the season, and for a lot of them, their first wins in quite a while. I believe Cody Sill went, nope, no, he won Chicagoland last year, so he actually did win a race last year. But John Andrews, Alexander Rowe, John Arndt. Actually, John Arndt also won last year, too. But Alexander Rowe, John Andrews, and Ace Gar... Okay. I'm not even making any sense, because Ace Garcia won last year, too. For the Wade Enterprises, guys, they're going to break some long losing streaks here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Of course, John Andrews never won before in this series. Alexander Rowe's been since season 6 for him. But Ace Garcia, John Andrews, and Cody Sill all won races last season, so they're actually looking to double up here in season 7 to season 8. Get stuck on the outside right there. And Matthew Phillips again getting in the way. And John Andrews going to race on the outside. They got stuck behind Carter Friesen. And then the inside lane got stuck behind Matthew Phillips. And look at what happened right there. John Andrews, Cody Sill, and the 39 Riley Spurley all get away. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered for these guys back in here. They had fallen off 5 seconds. And with these guys spread out like they are, that's going to slow them down significantly. They've still yet to get around Carter Friesen because of that. These guys, if they can get around Matthew Phillips cleanly, they're going to have a good chance, but they just can't do it. Fitzwater has been doing a great job getting around the lap traffic in this race, but everybody else behind him getting slowed up here. And they're not going to have any chance at closing into the race lead if they stay behind the 15 like this. They should have gone around them ages ago, but they stay right behind them. Don't know what San Mateo, don't know what Barta's thinking there. That is not working out for him at all, and Matthew Phillips finally getting out of the way for the inside lane, but Patrick Smith getting held up. All these guys closing in. You might want to watch out for this. How about Wyatt Quayle getting a ton of positions right there as he drove right on the inside. We're closing in on 10 laps to go in this race. John Andrews holds on to the race lead in the 04 with Riley Spurley, Cody Sill, the top 3. They're trying to pull away. They have a 2-second gap on the rest of the field. Angel Oliveira, Ace Garcia, John Arndt, and Alexander Rowe in this pack. Fitzwater's trying to close in, but all these guys, they lost a ton of ground when they hit Matthew Phillips that last time by. And I've never seen a car this slow before here at Talladega. They've hit him at least 3 times in this race, and none of those times has it worked out for anybody. Riley Spurley has taken the race lead. It looks like Carter Friesen has joined this lead pack. I think Friesen might be on the tail end or lap down. He is 2 laps down, actually, so he's not in the contention for the race lead. But he's going just as fast as these guys, and that might help our race leaders out, because if they can keep this draft going, they might be able to pull away and stay ahead of everybody else here. Fitzwater's the guy who's been able to get around Matthew Phillips good every single time, but he's not been able to hold a draft because everyone else behind him has been getting stuck behind that 15. And this is the biggest pack we have on the racetrack, so if they can join Fitzwater and they can avoid Matthew Phillips the next time by, oh boy, they got in the Marzak, and the leaders are going to get slowed down here. Oliveira, Ace Garcia, Alexander Rowe, and John Arndt, love to see that. They got a shot at closing back in on the race lead. And for the race lead, John Andrews is on Riley Spurley. Riley Spurley's going for his first top 10 of the season. Zachary Fitzwater's going for his first top 10 of the season. Currently, they are both in the top 10 here at Talladega. Oliveira got by. Ace Garcia stuck behind Marzak. John Art, Alexander Rowe, they're all still stuck behind the 34. And another huge opportunity for this large pack right here, led by Tristan Allen in the number 3. Now remember, with Tristan Allen and Alexander Rowe, they did not come down under that caution, so we don't know what their fuel situation is. You can only hope that they can make it to the end, or otherwise they might not be getting a good finish here today at Talladega. These guys are trying to close in. If they can get around Marzak here, they might have a shot, because these guys are spread out and they're going to run in to Matthew Phillips again. They might only run into him one more time in this race, but they'll definitely run into him again. And I just don't know. These guys, they're all veterans. Tristan Allen, Nicholas Samadeo, Zachary Fitzwater, and Trey Bartow there on the outside. They all want to get some more race victories before the Chick-fil-A Cup Series closes out at the end of May. They still got to get around Josh Marzak. I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. They are closing in slightly, but at the moment they're not closing in enough. These guys are closing in on this pack here, who is at the end of the field. Seth Cole, Mitchell Henderson, Matt Dalio, Lucas Jacobson, Jonathan Skivnicki, and Emily Anderson. Remember, they were all involved in the accident. They're going to get stuck behind Matthew Phillips. And in the process, these guys might get stuck behind Matthew Phillips. They are. Angel Oliveira, logjam. And John Andrews has got sideswiped by Matthew Phillips. Andrews pulls away with Carter Friesen, and nobody else has been able to get around him. It's just a mess. This race has been a total mess. The messiest Talladega race I've ever seen. They're all trying to get around Matthew Phillips. He's just been the problem all day. I do not understand why that car is still out there. That's just, I don't know, disrespectful to the other competitors. Well, this is a good look for these guys here. Fitzwater, Sam Medeo, they might try to close in here. They got stuck behind another lap car. They got stuck behind Marzak, so they just keep on getting stuck behind everybody. I don't know. John Andrews is out of here, and he has drafting help with lapped cars. He might pull away with this thing. He's got a second lead on the field. Lap cars have really gotten in the way of our race leaders here today in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. Cody Sill about a second behind, trying to get around Skivnicki and Emily Anderson. But Carter Friesen, he's just pushing the 04 John Andrews to the lead and keeping him there. But at this point, I really don't think anybody else is going to have a chance except for Cody Sill and John Andrews. Well, this is going to get interesting here. We're going to be closing in on 5 laps to go this time by, which means if we get another caution, the race is going to end, because remember, a 5-lap caution period here at Talladega, and Cody Sill is there in the number 37. And he really closed in that last lap. The drafting really playing into effect here for the number 37. He closed in 0.8 of a second that lap on John Andrews for the race lead. Big question is, will these guys have enough? Angel Oliveira, John Art, Ace Garcia, Alexander Rowe, and Riley Spurley. See, these guys, Fitzwater, Patrick Smith, Tristan Allen, Nicholas Samadeo, they're trying to close in. But I just don't think they're going to have enough time. They're going to have these guys get held up. John Andrews and Cody still pulled away from the rest of the field like crazy. You might run into Nathan Stapleton again, but when you're all by yourself, it's a little bit easier to get around a slow car like that than when it is when you're in a pack. It's 4 laps to go at Talladega for John Andrews in the 04. And this would be an emotional one for John Andrews. It'd be his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. He's been competing on Napa Fan since 2015. This guy is no rookie to Napa Fan at all, but he's never won in the top tier series before. Today could be that day, but Cody Sill has something else to say in the number 37. He's going for his 3rd career Cup Series victory. And he's got the run to the inside of John Andrews side by side. Is exactly what these guys want to see. John Art got stuck behind Emily Anderson, his teammate. And now they're trying to get around Nathan Stapleton. John Andrews is held up, and Cody Sill is pulling away in the 37. 2 laps to go at Talladega. I didn't think we were going to see what we've seen today, but I'm telling you, it's been unbelievable how much these lap cars have come into effect here at Talladega. We've only had 1 wreck, but we're going to end up with a lot of guys a lap down because they lost the draft and they ended up getting laps. Had issues. So much has happened in this race, And in the end, it will come down between Cody Sill and John Andrews. Everybody else is just way too far behind to have a chance. And Andrews has the inside lane, pushing Carter Friesen to the inside of Cody Sill. He might even lead this lap. He won't. Cody Sill leads it with 1 lap to go in the Mountain Dew Kickstart 500. And John Andrews takes it away on the final lap of the race. But Cody Sill can get back to the inside and still have a shot on the 04. Cody Sill had to back it down quite a bit there. John Andrews needs to pass Carter Friesen right here. Oh boy. You know, Tristan Allen, he just had to come down the pit lane. Will he get in the way of our race leaders? John Andrews in the 04 has got to go high on the 3. That might open the door for Cody Sill. He's going to use Tristan Allen as a pick. That might just be all he needs to win this race. They're closing back in on Matthew Phillips. He drives around Phillips. And John Andrews will win his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race here today at Talladega. How about that one for Wade Enterprises and John Andrews getting it done in the Mountain Dew Kickstart 500. What a wacky race here at Talladega. Normally, we end this thing with a pack of cars. Instead, John Andrews won by 0.3 of a second over second, and by nearly 3 seconds over third. They were as spread out can be. But how about Zachary Fitzwater in this race? He got a 3rd place finish. Remember, he wasn't even in that lead pack a majority of the race, but right near the end, he was able to get into it and make his way up to the 3rd position. Ace Garcia with 4th. Angel Olvera, only his 2nd start of the season, in 5th. And Riley Spurley, John Arndt, Patrick Smith, Nicolas Amedeo, and Diego Yepez. The top 10. What in the world was this race? I'm telling you, it was all over the place here today at Talladega. But in the end, John Andrews gets it done for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. He joins Diego Yepez and Patrick Smith as veterans who have won their first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series races. Of course, he also joins Wyatt Quayle, Andrew Ross, and I think we had another rookie winner. No, actually we didn't. We have not had another rookie winner this season. It's only been 2 rookie winners. Wow. No, Nathan Baird. Forgot about Nathan Baird winning in Atlanta. So we've had 3 rookie winners. John Andrews is our 6th first-time winner this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. How about that? For the 04 and Wade Enterprises, he was able to just get around the lap traffic. That was the name of the game here today, was getting around the lap traffic, and John Andrews did that better than anybody else here tonight. He gets it done ahead of Cody Sill, Zachary Fitzwater, Ace Garcia, Angel Olvera, Riley Spurley, John Arndt, Patrick Smith, Nicolas Amedeo, and Diego Yepez, the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results right here. We had 1 accident. It was on lap 4 of the race. And it ended up knocking out some guys, but it also caused some guys to be really slow on the racetrack. Matthew Phillips ended up finishing 5 laps down in the number 15, mainly because he shouldn't have been out there. He should have gone to the garage. I think Stapleton's another one, Josh Marzak. All these guys came into effect here today at Talladega, and a lot of these guys, like Trey Bartow, like Tristan Allen, Alexander Rowe, I think those guys actually had to come down to pit for fuel, which is why they finished as deep as they did. But like Trey Bartow was up there, John Arndt, Riley Spurley, Ace Garcia, they all had a shot at the race victory, but again, they got it taken away from them effectively because they ran into those lap cars at the wrong time. And it was just a mess out there with those lap cars. I've never seen the lap cars come into effect that much in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, but boy, did they come into effect here today at Talladega. But hey, that's just the name of the game when it comes to Talladega Super Speedway in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it really was the name of the game here today. John Andrews, though, he's the name that you want to watch out for in this season because he came into this race 5th in the points. He won this race. Mark Davison finished 20th. He's going to be right up there for the championship. I know we still only have 17 races left to go in the season, but just watch out for John Andrews right there. He could definitely end up having a shot at this championship here for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 8. It's going to be the final Chick-fil-A Cup Series season. Of course, like I said at the top of the show, we're going to be bringing in a new sponsor. We're going to be probably reinstating the chase format and using the new cup cars, the actual cup cars that they use. So, you know, it's not going to be custom anymore. But it'll still, like I said, be canon with the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It'll be the same series technically, but it's just going to have a completely different look to it. And that's going to be over the summer, so that's why we're trying to get this done before the end of May. That's why you saw this race today on this Tuesday afternoon, and that's why a couple days from now we go to Dover for the Mr. Goodbar 400. And I did some testing at that racetrack, testing at Dover, and I think I figured it out. We're going to get a pretty good race at Dover, and I'm looking forward to see who gets it done there at the Monster Mile. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to John Andrews on his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory, coming here at the Talladega Super Speedway. He's going to be up there in the point standings exiting this race. So here are the point standings for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after 10 races of the season. Have 18 races left to go, and hopefully by the end of May we'll get this all done, and we'll crown a champion for the 8th time in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I will see you in a couple of days for the Mr. Goodbar 400 from Dover. I will see you guys later.
I don't know, but I'm never stopping. Insomnia, rearview mirror, no looking back. Pedal to the metal and I'm feeling alright. Street lights are blending with the pale moonlight. Street lights are blending with the pale moon.